Hello, hello, hello. It is me, Rob Jules. I'm here. You're there. Mr. Zod will be on in a half hour. He's running a little bit late. Just to show you for all my favorite YouTuber. What's up, Sim Fishy? Hello, Elizabeth, me, and hello, Tammy. Hello, Janine. How are you, Mr. Zod? Says be on soon. I'm picking up my lovely lady. Just to show you, to prove to you that I went. Booyah! There it is. There's my ticket. I'll take a picture of that. It was awesome. Hello, Susan. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Rose. What is up, my fellow Dep heads? Hello, KH. How are you? Hello, what you want? What you want? I love when Maya says, what you want? Who else is it? My cats own me. That's great. Do anyone know the lady that says, hey, hey, hey? That is my friend. She lost her home from tonight. Oh, you're talking about Jana? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you talking about Jana? Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello, Tiffany. Wow. That's if you're talking about Jana, hey, 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 is that who you're talking about? Oh my God. That's not how I wanted to start the stream. Hello, Black Pearl. Wow, that's yeah, I hope she's okay. Hello, hippie girl. She's okay. Jesus Christ. Wow. Oh my God. Hey, Jordan Depp, how are you? Oh my God, I'm just glad she's okay. That's horrible. Yeah, she's gonna have to really recuperate. That wow, it's a tornado. Oh my God, that's so scary. Oof. Rose is asking if she's okay. Tammy says, my cat's on me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's horrible. That's about Jana. Jana. Jana, hey, hey, hey. Jana, what you want? Just call me head. Hi, Rob. Did Zod sleep all this time from when he nodded off the stream this morning? No, he actually also went to the movie. He's going to come in here and he's going to give his thoughts on the movie in a little bit. We're going to talk about that. Janine, I hope I'm saying Janine, right? Or Jeannie. I'm going to say Jeannie. Jeannie says, my cat's almost sending prayers. That's horrible. Has anyone talked to Jana? I haven't. Some fishy says tacos. No, she has no home and she can't find her animals. Oh my God. We may have to do, maybe we can do a GoFundMe for Jana. That's, wow. Damn, man. That's upsetting. My God. My God. The court put me to sleep, Hen. Oh my, sorry. I hope she's okay. Muggle says hi. Hey, Muggle. She needs your prayer. Oh, you ain't kidding. My God. My God, I hope she's okay. That's. Please make her okay, God. Please. I know it's not a religious channel. It's just my thing. My God. I thought it was the rum, says Rose. Hi, Zod, says Tiffany. Her animals, too. Yeah. Yeah, Jeannie. Yeah. Home can be found. The pets. Oh, God. Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Sandy Brown. That is terrible. Saying a prayer for that's horrible news to start the stream. This wasn't what I thought it was going. My God, it's not good news at all. No, it isn't, Black Pearl. Which even says hi to Sandy. What else? Hello again, Margot. Thanks for coming to the live stream. Greatly appreciated. Oh, you had a live stream today. That's right. Janice Bailey says, that's a great idea, doing a GoFundMe to help. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. I think we'll do a GoFundMe. Oh my God. Look at the news in Alabama. Okay. Prayers sent to Jana. I hope she finds her animals. Oh my God. Why? I'm not even going to read that, some fishy. Seriously, this is serious, bro. Serious. Sending virtual hugs and positive thoughts. Hopefully she finds her pet soon. Yeah. Hey, John, what's up? No, hey, what's up, Taco? Hey, Rob. Just caught up with what happened. I do hope she's safe now. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'll pray. Yeah, we have to, man. What's up, John? This is fishy. Did you like the movie? Man, I want to talk about the movie. I'm so excited, and I hear this. Oof, really, that really threw me off the movie. Okay, let's talk about the movie, and we'll talk about Janet too, and Zod will be here. I love the movie. I thought the movie was very good. I thought Johnny did a fantastic job. Forrest Whitaker. It's sad. It's very powerful. Because it's the murder of who killed Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. And they go into Tupac a little bit, but they don't go. It's more about Christopher Wallace and his mom, and trying to solve the murder, how it happened. And you know, it also has to do with Suge Knight, who ran a company called Death Row. I thought it was Murder Inc., but I think I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. It was Death Row Records, and it seems like he had a gang going on. Okay, there's gonna be spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, I'm just warning you. My non-spoiler review is it's a good movie, and Johnny did fantastic in this movie. I loved it. I loved it. I was a little confused by certain things, maybe because I didn't know all the players in the game. In the movie, I didn't know all the characters, like who's who and what's what and who got involved. And at the end, they do explain a lot of it. But it's a powerful movie. It's a sad movie. It's a murder mystery. That's that's the best way to put it. It is a very, very good movie, very powerful movie. I loved it. I loved it, and I want to see it again. It was excellent, excellent movie. It's rated R. Here's my ticket in case you didn't see it. Here's my ticket. Booyah! I got there at 6:47. Started at 7:20. I could tell you the theater wasn't many people. I was the first one in the theater. And I'll try to put a video on the members only so you could see. There was 3 other couples that came in, so there was lots of seats. Unfortunately, wasn't sold out. That's what I didn't want to see. That's what I was scared of. I really wanted the people to come out in droves. Yes. Oh, hold on. I got to get a towel. Is it blue? It's not. You're not your towel. Then why is it in there?
I don't know. Probably because you put it there.
No, then I'll take it. Don't come out of the shower unless you want to be seen on live TV. Now I'm out. Anyway, so I thought the movie was really good. Johnny played fantastic in this movie. It's from, he's a detective based on a true story of Richard Russell Poole. His side of the story. He was searching for the truth, and listen, I always search for the truth. And it's sad what he went through and how he tried to figure it all out and all the bullshit that was thrown in front of him. So yeah, I did like the movie, and I highly recommend it. And anybody who's a Johnny Depp fan should go and support. I mean, I just think the time for talking is over. Talk is one thing. Everybody can talk. But if you're really a supporter and you can make it to the theater and there's a theater open that's playing. By the way, I drove 1 hour to the theater and 1 hour home. So not only was it a 2-hour movie, it was 2 hours of travel time. And I got there a half hour early because I left. So if that's not dedication, and if doing almost a 5-hour stream, which is the longest stream I've ever done on this channel, this morning with the trial, I don't know what's more dedication I can prove to any of you, and how dedicated I am in this fight for victims of domestic violence and for Johnny Depp. I don't know how much I can prove this to you. I don't know what else I can do, to be honest with you. I'm going to set up my camera a little differently. Give me a second. And I'm going to catch up to the comment section, see what you guys say. Margot said, hi, Sandy. I enjoyed every minute. Yeah, Margot, it was fantastic. Loves sending out from Rose. And that's because of Jana. If you haven't heard, you're coming here late. Jana's house got hit with a tornado. She's homeless right now, and her animals, she can't find them. I think we should do a GoFundMe page, and I'm going to talk to this community. I'll talk to the members on Sunday about it. This is something serious. My hair is a disaster. Like I could have worse problems. Jordan Depp says, Rob, did you get enough rest? Thank you so much for the great live streaming hours ago. You're welcome. Yeah, I went to bed about 10:30 in the morning. I took the day off. I woke up about 4 in the afternoon, and then I ran around, and I went to the movie. Bro, it's food, right, Rob? Food is important. Well, food is important. Water is important, but shelter is number one, right? You need a place. You need a roof over your head. Without a roof over your head, you're in the street. You're homeless, man. That's a scary feeling. You know, yes, you need food and water. Of course, these are necessities. Clothes on your back, roof over your head. These are necessities of life. You lose your home, it's huge. It's devastating. You could lose lots of things. You lose memories. You lose so much financially. It's devastating. Mentally, physically. And especially when you're not physically well. It's even worse. And I feel horrible for her. Yeah, Margot, it is sad. How much was AH in the new Justice League? I saw your post about Zack Snyder. By the way, I have a video coming out about Zack Snyder, which has to do with Johnny Depp and the Justice League and Amber Heard. I just have to clear up my phone. She wasn't in it much, by the way. I found out from someone who saw the movie. She wasn't in it that much. Okay, so that's a good thing. But I don't support Zack Snyder. I will not support the Justice League, the Warner Brothers, or Amber Heard. That is my stance. And when I get this video out, you'll understand why, even deeper, that I'm very pissed off at Zack Snyder for multiple reasons. And that's just how I feel. Prayers for Janice and Susan. Witchy one says, oh, Sandy, sorry I missed it. I was sleeping. Hello, Maria. How are you? Katz, I'm just going to call you Katz. She is the one that brought me to your channel. She was so excited to introduce me to you. She said it is a safe and fun. It is a very safe place. This is a fun place. And the members I know have been able to talk freely about themselves more. And that's where we keep it. So just let you know, that's what we do in the member stream. People come there, and I now have put members on with me to tell their side of the story and talk about what they feel and how they feel about this case and just about life in general. And that's what we try to do. We try to keep it there and keep it as a safe, fun, friendly, and informative environment in this channel. That's what it's about. I've only just finished catching up on today's events. I have not yet. I'm sure a lot's been posted on Twitter and whatever, and I have not. Maya's sleeping. All right. Remember that when I want to sleep. Hold on. I'm going to make Janie a moderator, and I am going to add John Doe, who should automatically be a moderator. That's ridiculous. Janice Bailey, you're a moderator. Going to add you to the family. Welcome to the family, everyone. And Jordan Depp should be a moderator. Welcome to the family. And is there anybody else I missed? And Katz, you are also a moderator. If I forget anybody, please feel free to wrench me and send some wrenches. Hence says, I've only finished catching up on today's events as I didn't get home from work till almost 8 p.m. UK time. I only finished watching the earlier stream 40 minutes ago. I should be asleep. You should. It's a long day. Black Pearl said, enjoyed your stream. Sandy, Zach did push something of your buttons. I don't know what that is. A bit of your buttons. Yeah, he did. Oh, where can I watch it? Where can you watch what? The movie, or where can you watch the stream? The stream I did earlier should be posted. Should be there. Cats, it is. It's in theaters. Hi, everyone, says Galette. Good to see you, Galette. Welcome to the stream. Elizabeth Mee says, hi, Hen. The Black Pearl says, unfortunately, not in Panama. All theaters are closed. And they also all closed in the UK, as far as my understanding. South Florida, good to see you. Who tried to push HRH Sandy Brown's buttons? Somebody trying to catch South Florida hands. Trapper D Gamer says yes. I don't know about yes about what. I don't know. Maybe because I'm streaming. I don't know. John Doe says it's because of COVID, most likely. You see, I'm going through all the comments tonight, and see if that woman would have stayed with me instead of jumping the gun, her comments would have been read this afternoon or tonight, and that's why. I don't know why people get so bent out of shape. If you come to the stream on time or you come to the proper stream where I don't have a panel, it's all about you guys. Megan says, hello, everyone. They are limited seating as we begin opening, Rob. Yes, yeah, it was limited. Like I said, there was me and 3 other couples in the theater. The movie was fantastic. I loved it. And, you know, again, it was a sad story. And, you know, I love how they broke it down. I love how they explained it, how they explain later on. They explained how the incident happened because, you know, Johnny, as Detective Poole explains how it went down, and they dig deep, finding that in the LA there was corruption, and they, since I'm supposed to talk about the movie a little bit, they also find out that, you know, what happens if they had sued the police department? They go bankrupt. The city can go bankrupt. Is this a reason why the LAPD were trying to stay away from the case? You know, a lot of politics were involved. And all he wanted was the truth. He wanted the truth to be out there, which I agree. The truth should always be out there because it sets you free. So there's a lot of underhanded political stuff. But it was a very, very interesting movie. I loved it. Sandy says, thank you so much to Black Pearl. Greatly appreciate it. Rose says, Rob's, and I'm sorry I missed it, Sandy. I was just so exhausted from this morning. It just wore me out. Rob's, one thing to check out is Unsolved on Netflix, Boat Murders and Detective Pool. That's interesting. Unsolved. I hope I can remember that. I hope I remember that. But thanks for letting me know, Rose. That's I appreciate that. Jordan just says, I wish I could watch City of Lies too. Well, I think it comes out April. It's either 6 or 9. I can't remember, but on streaming service, so you will get to see it. I believe it's be on Netflix and Hulu and other streaming services. So you're not going to have to wait too long. It's only out for a limited time only. That's why I was pushing people to please go see it and support Johnny, because I think, you know, we could all blah, 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 blah. Every channel can blah, 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 blah. I support Johnny. I back Johnny. But what are you doing about it? And that's what bothers me, because I know people out here are quick to take money. They're quick to put up a YouTube channel. They're quick to go out there and snatch all this money and all these views and all this stuff. But what are you doing about it, man? I have 2 legs. I'm in healthy condition. I had money. You guys have given me money, and I took that money and went out to see the movie. I did the trial this morning. You know, listen, all this day was 4.5 hours of the trial. Me sleeping, me making dinner, having dinner with the family, running back out, traveling 1 entire hour to get to a movie theater in a neighborhood I've never been in, seeing the movie, enjoyed the movie, I enjoyed the theater. I came out and I traveled an hour back home, walked the dog, and here I am streaming again. I don't know how much more dedication I can be to this. I'm fully 100% on board and dedicated to this cause, and I'm not going to stop. And that's just me. Could it be people are staying home because of the lurgy? I think you mean it could be. I mean, listen, like I said, there's some places that the countries are closed. Look at UK, look at Panama. You know, so some places are closed. Some theaters are shut down. I have a theater that's 10 minutes away from me. It's one of the biggest theaters here. I was so sure it was going to be there. It's 10 minutes from my house. And they didn't have the movie. I was like, what? How could you not in the movie? You haven't been open so long. I was so frustrated. But I said, if I have to travel an hour, I'm going to travel an hour. I'm seeing this movie. I didn't care. I was determined. Hey, Justice for Depp, how are you? Maria says, Friday probably will be better, though. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I just wanted to see it right away. I didn't want to waste time seeing it. I wanted to, the minute I could get tickets, I was going. South Florida, this is Sandy. Thank you, sweetie. I had a guest on where his channel is more about politics, and I am not a political person. I really do not talk. Neither do I. Neither do I. I don't like getting political. It causes too many fights, too many rifts. I don't enjoy that, and I've lost friends because of politics, and I will refuse to get involved in discussing and fighting over it. I refuse. Janie says, my town is too small and nowhere near has it playing. Yes, yeah, you're going to buy the DVD. You're doing what you can. That's a good way to support the movie. Rose says, hi, JFD. Hi, Hen. Florida says, I know you handled it with class. I know, who you talk? I guess you're talking to Sandy, I think. Elizabeth Me says, we are open, but oh, shoot, I forgot to send. Hold on, Zod, the link. My bad, Zod. What a fool I am. Hold on. Let me go in the stream and send you the link. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming, my friend. You're on your laptop. But it doesn't matter what you're on. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I don't want to enter the stream. I want to send the invitation. There we go. Okay, hold on. I'm coming to get you, Zod. Hold on. Oh, General Zod. My bad. Where is General Zod? Okay, here it is. All right, Zod. It has been sent to you via Twitter. Come join me whenever you like. Hen says, hi, Rose. Tammy says, you are doing excellent. Thank you. I'm trying really hard. Believe me, I try so hard. I wish I don't know if I do an excellent job. Maybe, I guess you could always do.
Hey.
What's up, my friend?
Nothing much. Nothing much.
Look at you with the tough guy T-shirt. Look out.
No. How's everyone doing? I couldn't wait to get on this because I have a bit of a spicier take. And I think this is going to be a great review because you and me have two very different opinions of this film.
Well, listen, me and you right now have a different opinion about the whole Zack Snyder gamers thing. So we could talk about that on your stream another time if you want to invite me. But right now, let's talk about, I'm going to take your side and I'm going to post the comments as they come up. So Zod, you go ahead and speak because I've done so much talking today.
Okay, so guys, I am a 90s kid. I grew up in New York. Biggie Smalls there was like the dream. Like, I was into hip hop since I was like, shoot. The first album I got was Tupac's All Eyes on Me. And I had followed both of them religiously. And I understand the case in very great detail because when it happened, people from New York were very angry. Hello, everybody. And so there were a lot of conspiracy theories. And this kind of reaffirms this idea that we had about this case where it was hinted towards corruption within the police department. And for that aspect, this is based on a book. If you guys don't know, this whole story was based on a well-written book about the death of Biggie. I forgot the name of the book, but you guys can look that up. There's a whole book on his death. It was done very well. And the officers that are portrayed in this are actually from that book. The reporter, played by Forrest Whitaker, is de facto the guy who wrote the book and did the digging about this. Now, I'm going to get my positives out of the way first. Forrest Whitaker did a great job.
I was going to say, why don't you get the negatives first so we can discuss that?
No, because I have a lot more negatives than I have positives. So I don't want I don't want people to think that I'm crapping on it. You guys got to understand what I do on my channel. This is what I do. So I take myself out of it as a fan of Depp and I try to analyze it as a movie. And then I'll get into my feelings of everything. So First off, the cinematography was great. How they mixed documentary real life footage of Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie, that was all done well. There were 2 or 3 scenes that were very high action, like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. They kind of come out from left field and they drag you back in. And Forrest Whitaker's performance in this was absolutely amazing. I've always liked Forrest Whitaker as an actor. I think he's a very underrated actor. I think he should have had so many nods in his career as far as Academy Awards and things that I feel like he got snubbed on. With that being said, I don't know if it's the idea that Johnny had for the character or the director, but I feel like the director made a misstep with his character. Johnny Depp's character in this movie talks very slow, very meticulously, and it's kind of boring at times when they're going over the case stuff. And here's the problem. When you're shooting a film that's based on a well-known case and it's documentary style / live action, you're going to lose a lot of people if when you're telling the documentary part, you're not putting any flavor in it. And what I mean is there's not a lot of excitement when they're talking about these things to keep you engaged. I'm not going to lie. There were parts in this movie where I was straight nodding off. Like I had to get a Monster and drink a Monster because it just didn't grab me. Even though I was interested in the facts and everything they were laying out was interesting, the director didn't choose to present the information in a way that I feel like it would grab every audience member. There's a lot of people who doesn't.
Oh no, LC is just explaining to people because I'm giving out wrenches, so they're trying to find what can I do with a wrench. Blah, blah. So basically, LC is just telling them. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So when they're explaining information, and especially when you have a movie like this, you've got to present the information in a way that'll grab the audience and get them invested. Me and Rob know the backstory, but everything else with Johnny Depp and things like that. So we're going to be hyped to see this and kind of have those glasses on. But if I have to take myself out of the film and look at it from someone who isn't excited about, Depp giving a good performance, and I'm just looking on the merits of the movie, the director drops the ball with a lot of things. A lot of choices he made to present information was very, very poor. Like that whole scene when they did the thing with the Legos and they recreate, construct what happened with Biggie that night. I thought that was kind of goofy. Like they could have.
You thought that was goofy? Like when he puts the cars and all that stuff. You thought that was goofy? That part? I thought that was.
Oh yeah, I thought that was kind of goofy. I thought it would have been more. It would have put a more realistic feel if they would have showed footage. You know what I mean? Like. And then link it.
But I think he's trying to show a cop what the cops do in the back. Because I'm not a policeman, so I wouldn't know. But this is what they do. They usually have a model. They'll try to figure out and they'll try to reenact what happened the night of. And I just think he explained it well. And they did show footage. They did show the guys coming out, going into the car, what car. So and how the 2 guys bumped into each other because you were like, who are these 2 guys who are bumping into each other? And who is this kid? But they explain all that when that scene happened. So I was happy to grasp that because I didn't get that until that scene. But again, that's just me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, the way that
I feel like like with Ebert and what were those 2 guys?
Ebert and Roper.
Yeah.
we're going back and forth here. This is great. I haven't had a nice back to forth review like this. Like for me, it's the way things were delivered, and for the life of me, I can't figure out how they gave Johnny that direction for his acting. I'm sorry, his character was so dry and just he talks slow.
Right, but
delivered information like this.
But wasn't he a loner? And after all that happened to him, I mean, let's think of it this way. If all this has happened to you and he's fighting for the truth, this is what he wants. And every twist and turn he tries to take, he's being stopped because of politics, because and that was basically what it was. It was all political, and every time he tried, all they kept doing was stopping him. And he retired, but like he said, I retired 2 weeks before getting my pension, and that's not what you want to do. That's not the goal. The goal is I want truth, and I feel that, because I can't tell you how many times personally that I've wanted truth, and people still put me down. It's happened on this channel. It's happened a couple of months ago to me. There's still people out there who disagreed with me, even though I presented all the evidence I could and all the truth I could put out there. And I felt that. I was like, yeah, that made me feel, you're trying to seek the truth in a matter. You're just trying to get the truth. And that's what we want in this Johnny Depp Amber Heard case anyway. That's what we're fighting for. And he was just like, yeah, man, everything I fought, trying to bring justice to this person's family. I know other people just look at it as a job, but he was like, I swore by his badge. This is what we swore to, and people don't obey by that. They take that for granted, but not me. He was like, all cop. He was total for the truth, man, and that's why it's called the City of Lies. And I thought it was I don't know.
I see some people that said the son of the detective said Depp portrayed it well, and that could be the case. But I'm saying that there's some points where I do think taking certain liberties in a movie like this is warranted. I'm just saying, as an average moviegoer, there's going to be a lot of people who can't sit through movies like this. Like I could sit through it because I understood the case. I knew where they were going with it. The different angles that they presented were fascinating, and it kept my interest. But there were parts that dragged. And
I agree with you. I agree with you. There were parts that I got a little lost, and I was like, maybe they didn't have to show or something like that. I agree. That I'll agree with. There was a couple parts I was a little stale, but that's what you get when these are not comedies or action flicks or stuff like that. It's not Marvel. It's not, those are the type of movies I like too personally. But this is more of a whodunit, a murder mystery. It's drama. It's serious. It's a serious movie. So I knew that when I watch those kind of movies, I know there's going to be parts that maybe I'm like, oh, okay. We could have skipped this or we could skip that. Or I agree with you. There were some parts that were a little slow. Let's put it that way.
And that's the thing, is that they made the same connections in the book, but the way they got there, I really question more of the director's choice and how he portrayed the scenes. I didn't realize who the director was, and I don't like the director's work. And I could tell that's probably what took me out of the movie, was that I didn't know until after I saw the movie. I started looking it up to get ready for our review. And I said, oh, that's why. Because this guy has only done one movie I've ever liked, and that was The Lincoln Lawyer. The rest of his stuff, I could take it or leave it. I think his style of directing and writing and stuff, it's very kind of blah. And I felt shades of that in this movie. And look, I'm looking at it like from a critical mindset, like taking myself out of it and being an audience member and trying to get into their heads of what they would think. And quite honestly, there's a few things that when you get to these parts, because it had a great beginning, Rob, I think we could agree that beginning was like, when you see the beginning of the movie, you go, oh, wow, okay. So
the beginning
right into this. Like
what I wish they touched on more, I know it was more Biggie. I wanted them to touch on both of them because I wanted them to get a little bit into Tupac. They really didn't get too much into Tupac. It was really quick. It was a couple of old footages. They went over that a little bit. I got it. He became, they should have, like, why did he go to the West Side? Like, there was another movie that was very good with Biggie and Tupac in it, and they explained more about the guy who portrayed Biggie, excellent, and the guy who played, they had Puff Daddy, and it was great. It was a great movie. These played the characters perfectly. They got more into detail of why Tupac left and what happened, and the East-West became that way. I wish they would have gotten to that before they just jumped into the East part. That was the only thing to me that I lacked, because I really wanted to hear about Tupac. They got into it a little bit, but I wanted a little bit more detailed. I mean, that's what I was disappointed. That was my disappointment.
And here's the thing, Rob, I'm there with you. I feel like this movie's only an hour and some change. It's a little short of 2 hours. And I felt like this movie would have benefited. We could get a 3-hour Avengers movie, but this movie would have done well with a longer runtime because then they could have put in that. I felt like this is a story that should have been combined because both of these cases are so intertwined that even in the movie, you could tell they had a tough time trying to separate the Biggie from the Tupac. Because when you look at the cop, it's basically these 3 cops, and everything links together through the LAPD. So, yes, it is based on a real person. When you're following it, you're saying to yourself,
they're saying that this is how Russell pulled. A lot of people are saying this is how he was in real life. So I just want to let you know.
But
That's
then
what they're
again,
saying.
not everyone translates well to doing them how they actually are on screen. That's why sometimes they take some liberties, and I can see why now. Johnny Depp's a great actor, so clearly he betrayed Russell how he was supposed to be portrayed because that's what Johnny Depp's going to do. He's going to do his research. He's going to find out about the person. He's going to find out his mannerisms, and he's going to do that character. And I respect the hell out of him for being able, because he's one of the very few actors who can do that. On the flip side, then it's up to the director to make that interesting.
I have a question. Do you know if his son was his son in the movie? That was really him, correct? Or because I didn't see the end credits. I had to go to the bathroom so bad I couldn't hold anymore. So I had to get up before the credits went. But I don't know if that was his real. Do you know if that was his real son, or was that?
I don't know because I left it. I left at the end credits because I too had to use the restroom.
Dude, I had this large ass soda. I got there half an hour before time, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta go!" So I said the minute I saw it ended, and I said, "Okay, I know it's not like the MCU. There's an end credit scene, so I just gotta go." So I just
John Doe, yes, I agree with you. The artistic liberties not to change.
Oh no, it's not. Elizabeth B says no. Oh, they should have put his son in it. That would have been a real touching if they had put his real son in it.
Oh yeah, I would have definitely agreed with that. But yeah, John Doe, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you take a few artistic liberties to make the story more intriguing or to make a character pop. Like he's a big essential character in this movie. So to have him kind of be the slowdown in the movie, it works really against what's going on. And that's not to say Depp didn't have great moments. He did. There were a lot of like little moments here and there when I was like, wow, okay, it's go time. And I can understand too, having that weathered, I've been doing this for years and now I'm dragged and worn down, because they do a flashback to when he's younger, when he's explaining things and stuff. So I understand what they were going for. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me get that off the screen. That's who he looks like. That's who Johnny.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good.
Yeah, so that's who Johnny Depp
job
portrayed. Yeah, so that's him. That's the detective, and I'll show you a picture of Johnny Depp, which looks like him. Hold on, so you could see a comparison. I should have done a side by side, but I didn't have it. So here's Depp.
Oh yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, pretty good, man. They did pretty damn good. Here's a better shot. Here's a better shot, maybe. Pretty good, man.
And the other thing that bugged me too was the chemistry between Forrest Whitaker and Johnny Depp. Didn't feel like it was there. I felt like they were on They were on two different levels. So here's the problem that highlighted the issues with Depp for me was you had Forrest Whitaker.
This was my soda, and it was a little bit bigger than this. Okay.
Oh my god, that was my soda. Oh. You had Forrest Whitaker. He was playing a high energy. He got pissed off, flipping and stuff. He was bringing an intensity. And then you had a mellow, laid back kind of detective who wasn't very intense until certain points, because I don't want to spoil anything. But so when they're playing off each other, it's a really weird disconnect between the two characters, because I'm like, and I'm glad that you feel that too, because I felt like there's a disconnect, because one person's acting like over here and the other person's kind of acting over here, and they're not coming together.
It is to me. I did, and I modded my wife. My wife's like, "Mommy, mommy." I just modded her and to let me know I did. And I want to answer a question from before. I'm going to get to that. I just have to catch her. I think it was uh who is this? Milani Lopes asked, and I'm very bad at names. I'm so sorry. She says, "Rob, what do you think about the trial this morning?" I'll get into it real quick because we're going to focus more of that on Saturday and next Wednesday. We're going to talk about it with two different people. Real quick, what did I think about it? I think that his attorney started with fire and brimstone. He was really, and then judges did a great job. They played right down the middle. They came after him a little bit. Then they took a break. Then came in, and they were all nervous. We were a little bit nervous after that. Then came the NGS attorney and Amber Heard's whoever, which did. I think that they did a horrifying job. All they did was say drugs, 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 drugs. And basically, they go, what's your point? We've gone through all this. I don't know what your point is in all this, you know. And the judge was like leading the attorneys. And everyone's like, I got 5 points. Meantime, he was on point 52. Like, okay, point 5. I'm like, dude, enough already. Enough.
It was so riveting, I fell asleep.
Yeah. It was. And I think at the end, Johnny Depp's attorney said one of the greatest lines. He said, look, if she had all this and just cooperated, why hasn't she cooperated? I don't know the words exactly. Tammy talks about had the words. But basically, he's saying all she had to do was show and prove it, and she didn't. And why is she being so difficult when we're just asking her for certain things? She would be this difficult and hiding stuff if she was telling the truth. I couldn't have put it any better, and that's perfectly said on his part. And I really thought, at first I was a little nervous, but I think it looks real. At my end, I thought it was really good. I liked the conclusion. I liked the beginning. The middle was a little bit, but the judges were right down the middle. They took both sides out, and I think Johnny's team did a fantastic job. The only thing they lacked, and I wish they would have proven because they kept bringing up abuse. I would have said, Your Honor, look, there was 2 police officers who stated that she was fine and had no marks and no nothing. Yet she goes out and gets a TRO and she has a mark. Police officers came there. If police officers came and showed up that minute, that second, they were there looking at her with nothing on her face and looked in the apartment and nothing was destroyed like she had claimed, then how could you say it's abuse on our client's end? Somebody's lying here. She lied about $7 million, which you clearly can see through the letters. And also, now she lied about that. We have a history of her lying, and that's why we need this retrial. This should have been brought up. Those lies should have been brought up all together because that is why they need the retrial. That was my opinion. If I was this attorney, I would have brought up all the lies and shoved it down their throat. Not the judge's throat, down the attorney's throat. That's the only thing I think they lacked. But that's it. But anyway, Zod, go ahead with the movie. Sorry.
Oh, yes. And Tammy said, I appreciate your honesty. Thank you, Tammy. Look, I've had a personal beef with reviewers because my gripe on my channel has always been reviewers hyping up a movie because they want to push an agenda or because they personally like it and they don't give you guys facts. And if I find problems lacking, I'm not going to sugarcoat it because I like the person involved or I'm a part of something. I'll say, hey, love this person, love what they stand for, but this movie was garbage. I'll tell it like it is because I've got to be true to what I'm doing. And right now I'm reviewing. And I don't necessarily think that this was a terrible movie. I'd watch it again. I think that they dropped the ball on a couple of things within the movie that could have elevated it and made it on that level of being something enlightening. Because look, the angle that they come up at is stuff I've been saying for years, and people call me crazy. Like I said, there was a police conspiracy, and everyone's like, oh, I go, no, think about it. He was expertly executed, one headshot. No gangbanger can do that. I've lived in New York. My house has been shot at. They are not accurate unless they are like right next to you. So the fact that it was one headshot of someone coming out and they drop right as they stand still, that's a damn good shot. So that tells me some kind of training with a firearm. And now you bring in a cop, That makes complete and total sense. What else makes sense too is that naturally Suge did think that Biggie's team did it, which I also think that the LAPD was involved with Pac's shooting because they wanted to keep this rivalry going to take them both out. Because if you guys heard their music, they were not very strong proponents of the police force, and they had a lot of stuff against the police. And after the riots happened, the cops were trying to hush a lot of shit out about police brutality and stuff like that. So now, years later, getting a movie where they're examining this, I was jazzed up. But I gotta also say, you know, my piece about it, how they delivered some of the lines, the stuff that they chose to do. Some stuff could have been cut, some stuff could have been added. Like, I would have loved, like Rob, like you were saying, some of the slower parts, cut that out and add some stuff about Tupac and connect the two cases. So people who don't know about this case, because here's the thing, I don't know about you, but if you don't really follow this case, you'd get lost in the movie at points trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're looking and you're going, well, what does this have to do with this? You know, yes, Claire.
Oh, and he has a channel too. So the Glare Zod and my wife, Tammy Tips and Tricks, she has an Instagram. If you could follow her, if you have Instagram, the Glare has a channel. I'll put that in the chat. And Mr. Zod, I posted his up earlier. And Zod, feel free to post it if you want. And Glare, you could put yours too. Everybody knows it's free advertising on the channel. So
Tammy, you know what? Look, growing up in the city, things like that happen. So when these people come out and they say this ridiculous stuff about city life and they know nothing about it, I gotta call them out on it. You know, I was around gang members and things like that.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I got a perspective on both ends of it.
Wow.
And not all gangbangers are demons, and not all cops are angels. Everybody's got a dark side to them. And in the era that I grew up in, you know, this stuff happens. So when they bring up police stuff now, it pisses me off because it's like, guys, we already dealt with this in the 90s. Okay. We know officers go a little bit overboard, but think about what they do. Think about the people they deal with. They put their lives on the line. They get shot at constantly to a public that's ungrateful for the service that they do. Some of them are ex-military and some were guys I served with, and they get spit on and treated like crap.
Yeah.
So where do you call who's right and who's wrong?
Listen, like I always said, there's always going to be a bad apple no matter what you do, no matter where you go, right? Everything, every job, every profession is going to have someone who tries to think that they're above. We've had judges who tried to get away with things. We've had court officers, we've had clerks. It happens. It happens. Doesn't mean that every judge is corrupt. Doesn't mean that every court officer or clerk is corrupt. No, like something I wanted to bring up, which is a little sad, happened, was and I you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Of course, you're a good guy. Don't worry about it, man. We had a court officer, and I didn't bring this up because there's so much is going on with Johnny Depp and the movie and the appeal. We had a court officer say, "Hey, listen, man, I need to go to bed. You mind guarding my pulse?" So the other guy was like, "Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead." He goes in the bathroom and he pulls out his Glock and he shot himself.
Oh, man.
Now, nobody knows what the hell happened. The whole court has been in disarray over it, including myself. This happened in one of my old courts I used to work in. And everybody feels horrible. And we all have felt something. Not everybody knew this person. I didn't know him, but he was 50 years old. You know. Nobody can pinpoint what happened. Could it have been depression? Yeah. Could it have been this what's been going on over the last year and a half? Maybe he misses his friends. Maybe he hasn't dated. Maybe he's lonely. I don't know. You know, it could have been anything. That's why depression and suicide and all this stuff is a scary thing. And you know, I know people on the stream who talk to me who are sad. They ask me, "Rob, can you please stream tonight? Can you please play a game tonight? Because I'm very sad." please, can you go on? And I'm like, screw it. You know what? I was gonna do a video, but I'll play a game tonight because it makes them happy, and they come on my stream and they're happy about that. So if I can do that and help somebody to make them a little happier, it's something I know I'm capable of doing. I'm not no psychiatrist. I'm not no doctor. I'm not no lawyer. I'm not none of that. So it's a sad thing, and I always tell people, if you know somebody who's reaching out for help, don't take it lightly. Don't take it as a joke. Don't take it, you're just saying that. You're not going to do that because you don't know.
That's why tomorrow I'm going to talk about this on my stream and what went on with Geeks and Gamers, because I got a different sort of approach to it. And I know there's about 150 videos and everybody now wants to get the clickbaity thing out about the situation. But yeah, what that happened, that was the biggest thing that upset me, was because when you have topics like that,
mm-hmm.
I feel like that politics and political pandering should be put on hold,
mm-hmm.
In the interest of what your stream is about. We've talked about things. We've had guests on who have given their stories. I had a whole suicide prevention stream I did with a guest who she wrote stuff about it and she went through it, and she was giving some helpful advice and tips and things like that. And I think, at the end of the day, the focus has to be on trying to uplift people and get them happy, because look, the rate, and I didn't know about this till I did my stream, the rate for suicides in this country has gone up because of the apocalypse. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like this movie, right? This movie, you have gangs, right? And that was the thing back then. Like you said, there was a lot of gangs. I mean, even when I was in high school, there were kids who formed gangs because it was cool, because their family wasn't around a lot. Maybe their parents were both working, so they came home. Maybe they were an only child, and they're like, I don't have anybody, and so they joined a gang, get friends. They became that's my family. This is my family, and they went around. And man, if somebody did them dirty, man, I remember one time I was there, and like, man, there was like 10, 20 guys surrounding an area. This guy was like, my God, they're going to kill me, or they're going to beat the pound out of me. And they came in and they're like, we're going to beat you on the way home. And when you go to the hospital, we're going to wait till you come out, and then we're going to beat you again, and we're going to keep beating you. And I'm like, I don't want to be that kid, man. I was nervous because, that's the thing. Everybody would join a clique. Like, I remember I was in Brooklyn, and every avenue, I swear to you, every big avenue that you would go shopping had a gang. And late at night, guys and girls, they were full up and down. You're talking about miles of kids hanging on corners, just waiting for somebody to mess with them, look at them the wrong way. Man, they would pound you. It wasn't, you didn't have to be in the worst neighborhood then, because it happened in every neighborhood. I remember there was an Italian gang, there was a white gang, there was black gang. It was Russian gang. It didn't matter what it was. They were all over the place, and they all had names. Like every avenue had a name. Like there was an avenue called Kings Highway, the Kings Highway Boys. Me telling they were boys and girls, or Avenue U Boys, or 86th Street, or whatever it was. Whatever the big place, they formed a gang. That was their territory. Don't mess with their territory, and that was the thing to do. And so this gangster rap and this gangster. Yeah, but it was violent, and then now you have, nowadays it's the Bloods and the Crips, It's scary stuff, man. It's scary stuff.
I mean, and the thing about this movie too was that the thing that I did appreciate about it was touching on some of that stuff, because even me, me growing up, and I was more in upstate New York, and I have Manhattan in that area, but
it wasn't. Wait, let me just clear it. It wasn't violence towards the police. This was about This was more about politicalness happening within the police system and the gang. It was about Suge Knight and how he basically took control and had control of a gang and the LAPD, and how he had his what's the word I'm looking for? How that is in. He had it in with the LAPD and all the politics that was going on, and it was like the one guy was like, "It's been 18 years. Why hasn't anybody looked into this? Why hasn't anybody solved this?" So it's a little political, and it's a little like, why wasn't the LAPD more involved? Why weren't they getting more involved? It's about the gang war, the East and the West Coast. And that's what it's about. It's about Biggie Smalls' murder. Who shot him? Why did it happen? Who did it? It goes into that. It's not about police. It's a little bit of police brutality because they showed about the Rodney King incident. For those of you who don't remember, there were 4 white policemen who beat up Rodney King, who was a black man. And people went crazy because these 4 men weren't convicted. And it was on videotape. I was stunned, like, what the
But here's the thing, though. Years later, it came out, for all of you people who were wondering, that the videotape was edited. And in fact, Rodney King had charged the officers, and when they did a blood test on him, he was hopped up on PCP. And they did try to shock him first, and he took 3 tasers, I believe, and he didn't go down. And that's when they took the batons out. But when they filmed it, the news team edited it so it just looked like 4 white police officers beating up a black man. Look into it. True story, guys. You can see there's an unedited footage of the actual video.
That.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew
the media covered it up. That was solely, and this is why I go back to the media solely did that to sell more papers, and they caused a riot over it.
But in the movie, didn't he say that about the media? Didn't he say that they did something and they sold it to the media and then it imploded? I remember them saying that in the movie. I have to catch that part again, but I do remember them saying that we sold it to the media and then the media sold it and it imploded. I remember, oh God, I remember that. That makes sense now. I was wondering what he was talking about because I said, what is he talking about? What does he mean by that? I didn't understand what he meant.
See, Rob, I caught all the nuances in the movie, and that's why I'm kind of torn with my overall feelings, because it does have, like, for all of you who don't know about this stuff that happened, there's a lot of stuff. I would consider this a more documentary kind of thing, where they're not giving you just a Hollywood one-sided look at it. It's actual facts and stuff they've never even talked about, even with the Rodney King thing, which really pissed me off because, and when you look at, Suge was dirty.
Yeah, this is the best way. This was a big part of the movie. This was a big part of the movie. That's a big, good definition of how to define this movie. I think that's a good way to put it.
Oh, and don't worry, I was snoring on stream too. I heard they were poking me, but I was out.
This chat is great. If you watch any of my videos, we try to be informed. Tonight's going to be all informative. So but go ahead, continue. I'm sorry I had to interrupt you. I just wanted to get to the comments as well as you because it's kind of interplaying. So, but go ahead, Zod.
No, not a problem. I completely understand. My thing with the movie that, like you said, that I loved is that, like for someone like you, right? You didn't know that there was an unedited tape. So when Johnny said that in the movie, I said, "Holy shit, they're talking about the unedited tape." Like for someone like me, I got what they were talking about. See, what happened was the LAPD had sold the uncut tape to the media, but the media recut the tape and showed edited footage. So when the footage was brought out, they thought they would get higher ratings. They didn't know they were going to cause a mass riot. So then when it came back to who to blame, the media disavowed having the actual version of the tape, and the LAPD got the full blame of it. So in a sense, I don't blame them not wanting to bring more stuff on the department with the Suge Knight thing, because that would have been, at this time, that would have been a nail in the coffin.
Well, that's what they were saying. That's what Forrest Whitaker said. He said that this could devastate the city as well as the LAPD if it's found out that Suge, who has gang members also has these guys who are corrupted in the LAPD, because people are going to say, wow, now we can't even trust the police. Who the hell can we trust? And they said that in the movie. So they would be sued. The God knows how people would have sued them, especially with Tupac and Biggie. They would have went after them full blast. And they were bringing in Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran, the man who defended OJ, got him off. They were bringing him in, and they were like, oh, my God. Now they're bringing in this guy, and they were worried. They were really worried. Like, man, this could devastate financially our whole department as well as the city.
And here's the thing and that's kind of the thing that annoys me about this movie, is that I felt like they could have gone more towards those angles, because that was the interesting part to me talking about that, because it's like you present the audience with a dilemma, because now you know that there's corrupt cops, and you have the audience sit back and think, who's writing this? Because can we say the LAPD is wrong? They're not wrong. Do you want to bankrupt a apparatus of protecting people? Like, yeah, they've done shady things, but how many people have they saved as a result of a 911 call, or coming to someone who's being abused and stuff like that? But at the same time, they covered up a murder. So it gives a good dynamic to the audience to play with. And I felt like they glazed over. They went by it so quick.
Yes, they did. I agree with you that. And I think that it was great that it's these things that I'm very happy that they did bring up, because I didn't have an understanding of it. And, when you're on the outside looking in, this gave you a more in version. You could be like, what do you do here? This is what yes, you feel bad and you want to solve this case, but they're like, but at the same time, if we go that route, we can destroy everything. If people don't trust the police anymore, and we lose, and financially we lose, we're going to lose the city. We lose everything. It's going to be total chaos. So did I see the politics in it? Yeah. Does it make it right? No. And what was he seeking? Poole was seeking the truth. He's like, I don't care about all that. I want the truth. I want to solve this person's murder. I want justice for her. I want justice for Miss Wallace. I want justice for Christopher Wallace. And notice, he's like, you don't address him as Biggie. You don't address him as Notorious B.I.G. You address him as Christopher Wallace. He deserves that. I was like, wow, man. His heart was real. His life was dedicated. So he wouldn't stop. He didn't care if it was his ordination. He didn't care what he had to go through, the DA. He didn't care that those guys were making fun of him on his desk. Like someone drew a drawing like he was shit. He was going down the drain or whatever. His career was going down the drain. He didn't care. He wasn't in it for this. He was in it because he wanted the truth, and he wanted the people who should be put behind bars. And he was trying to overstep, because he's like, these guys are not, every time I get close, they keep stopping me, and they keep stopping. I don't want to be stopped. I don't be off this case. I want to solve it and close this case. That's what he wanted.
And that's the thing. I got that whole angle too. The other thing that annoyed me is like, was this really his whole life? I really want to look into this guy more.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh yeah.
She's worried. Like, don't worry. You're doing great. You're doing great.
This is a wonderful chat. You've come into a wonderful group. But anyways, the other thing, that was the other thing too. It was like, there were parts where it was like, well, he's still getting a paycheck, but if this has been his whole life, is he getting paid for other things? Is it just this one case? There's little things they don't really explain to give me a richer sense of who Depp's character is.
But it is, every movie's like that. Like, I think if they did a TV documentary, gotten to, if they got into more of this, like, I think this definitely needs more. This could have been a long movie. Like I said, they could have edited things we did. I think every movie does that. I think that there's things that we don't really need, we don't really care, we don't really need in there, and we could have thrown those out. And had they put more of Tupac in it, more of what happened to him, and it showed some footage of it, explain that more, and like you said, explain what at the end, like, is he getting paid? What is he doing now? If he resigned, how are you surviving? Are you if you're doing? Are you getting the pension? Did you take a penalty? as far as I know, being an employee of the court system, if I leave early, right? Okay, here's my contract. My contract is I have to work 30 years of service and I have to work to the age of 55. So the age and the years. Once I have those two, I can go at any time I choose to go. Not when they choose, when I choose. I then can leave or stay. If I stay later, they just add to my pension up to a certain point, and then it's not worth staying anymore because you're losing money. So it's better that if you go all the way, once you reach that, go, because you're just going to lose money, and how much more of your life do you have left? We don't know. So you want to enjoy what you have left of your life. So in this case, he left 2 weeks before he could, he'd get his pension. Now I'm assuming he took a minor hit. I mean, because really, if he was that close to his pension, I don't understand why he didn't just stay for 2 more weeks and just end it. I don't understand that. That point was not talked about. I would have been like, well, why would you leave with only 2 weeks to go?
Yeah, and I heard someone say it in the chat the best. I believe it was Elizabeth Me. She said, Rob's oh no, our number one fan.
That's awesome. Diamond is awesome. I can't wait to get her back on the stream, but her work conflicts with my streaming. So hopefully in the future I can get Diamond back. I really want to get Diamond Knight back on this channel. So, but she's awesome. Thank you, Diamond, so much. I really appreciate it. You can go ahead, Dot. I'm just going to hold this up for a little bit. You can go.
So Elizabeth Me said, Rob Zod, they assume the knowledge in the audience that may not be there. Yeah, I agree. And this is a case where you're not dealing with, like, say, a Marvel product or something like this. If you're doing a biopic, you have to put in stuff as if the audience doesn't know. This is a case where you really do have to put in stuff because not everyone lived in 1990 like we did.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to know about who Biggie and Tupac is.
Agreed.
Not everyone's going to know about what happened with Rodney King and why it's so important that the police are covering this up. And this is why I'm being honest with you guys, because if I didn't have the knowledge I had, if I didn't know all of the things surrounding this story, even Rob said himself he was lost on some things. I would have been completely lost.
Yeah, and like you said, this is something that happened around the time that was probably our prime of our lives. I thought it was probably, it was 20 years ago. Yes, I was in my 20s, my prime. And I remember this hit news like last year when Kobe Bryant hit. That's how I felt. That was shocking. When you have a death like that, or this year Screech from Saved by the Bell, I was like, where the hell did that go? Or the Black Panther. You just have a death of someone dying, like I don't know, left field. You're not ready for it. It's so shocking. But to hear murder is even worse. To know that this was planned out, and Shook Knight, that wasn't a guy to fuck with, man. He wasn't a guy.
Someone on a set of a movie. Remember on Straight Outta Compton, he ran over one of the people on that set.
Wasn't he? Jesus
That's
Christ.
why he's in prison right now.
Wasn't he also I remember him on an award show. I was like, what the hell is he doing on an award show? I guess because of Death Row Records, So he was on it, but he was the owner of Death Row Records. But listen, sometimes you need a cover up. That his cover up was the record label. But meantime, underground was he had a gang. He got some of this gang. Like if you think about 9/11, right? What they did the same format. What did they do? They had people come here, right? And good citizens, clean record, learn how to fly a plane. And what did they do? They planned it out. They got in. And it was an inside job. They learned how to fly a plane, so they knew what to do. They got into the cockpit. They threatened their guys' lives. They killed them. They flew the plane. They killed thousands of people. This here was is inside, all inside stuff. And he realized, if I have control of the police, then I have control of the city. And just like anything else with crime, it's fear. When you fear, like Star Wars, fear, right? The bad lead, they want control. How do they control thousands and thousands and millions of people? Fear. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to kill you.
And this is why I say
this is what it is. fear.
People say this cancel culture thing is new and it's just coming up. No, it's always been there. You've always had these people on top. We've just rotated who we've gotten. In the 90s, we had, oh yeah, just for you, Lemon. What? I wanted to show off my cat. Last time, I'm sorry, you might get demonetized this video because I'm showing too much of my skin.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I apologize.
It's fine.
You know, we've
Cover
do you
my
guys
eyes.
realize
He says, wait, Elizabeth, this is funny. Cover my, so I'll cover mine. There you go. I can't see.
you know, we've always had these people, and this is the way it works in entertainment. It goes through these swaps and these shifts. Now, the longest shift we've had is this cancel culture, which I don't think thank you, which I don't think is going away anytime soon.
No, it's not. And we could bring up Gina Carano, right? With cancel culture.
You know,
They're trying to get Bill Burr, the comedian, out now.
they tried
Next
Brad
guy.
Pitt. They tried Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's part of that too. They went right
Trying to
after
get
him.
fun of that. And
Yep.
there's another guy, the guy who plays Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. They're trying after him too. It's like
The guy from The Expanse, one of the shows that I watched, Caesar Avera, I believe his name is. He's been on that show since season 1.
And this
And
is done in Star Wars. How about Jake Lloyd? And how about the guy who played Jar Jar Binks? You know, this is the new Kelly Marie Tran, right? They kicked her. She got so much frustrated and flustered. They kicked her out of social media. This is going on now. You know, okay, people can say, "Well, you try and do that with Amber Heard," but there's a difference here. Here's the difference, people. And I'm going to point this out because Amber Heard is an exception to the rule. She's an exception to all these other celebrities. She's physically, and she admits this on recording, she's physically hurt someone. And she, unlike all these other people, when you like them, you do, when you don't, whatever it is, like Brie Larson, that was another person that people are not happy with. But unlike all them, all these actors and actresses, they never physically hurt someone. They have never tried to destroy another career of another actor or actress or anybody else. But she is the example that is different from every other person. I don't care who you mention to me. You can mention Brie Larson. You can mention to me, Gina Carano and what she said on Twitter. If you want to throw that at my face, that's fine. I love Gina and I stand by her. Sorry, that's how I am. To me, Amber Heard goes above and beyond that. She goes above and beyond that, and that is why I'm so against. Why are we against Brie Larson? I did a video on that. You might want to check it out. Brie Larson or Amber Heard. I did a video that'll explain it more. If you haven't checked it out, just check out my playlist. Go to my playlist.
Yeah, you
section.
can go on my playlist. I'm the only YouTuber in the history of doing YouTube that did a 4-hour video on her. And I clearly lay out every interview and everything. There's a couple of curse words in there too.
This is really, and this is the horrifying thing about this whole thing. This whole thing right here.
Now, here's the thing. I don't believe he was responsible for Tupac because there were a bunch of legal reasons that he was still getting money even though he was leaving his record label. That I do believe that he wouldn't have put himself in a place to get shot at just for covering it up. I think that caught him by surprise, but he was responsible. Eazy-E died of AIDS, but at that time, Suge Knight co-signed on a lot of stuff and brought him women and whatever he wanted. So I totally agree with you, Evelyn. I would lay that on him too, because that was the culture. He got these guys whatever they want. You want drugs, you want liquor, you want women, you want a new car, you want all of them in your new car. I gotcha, as long as you make me money. And he was taking a huge percentage of their sales. That's why Tupac was leaving. If you guys didn't know, Tupac found out later in his career that Suge Knight was taking a percentage of the cut from his records.
I don't know
So
about
yeah,
Eazy-E. I can't. I mean, I'd have to look that up. I
I
can't
would
really
say
tell you.
by extension, Van, by extension, he encouraged what Easy was doing. Now, Easy chose to do what he did with as many women as he chose, so that responsibility does fall on him in a sense. But when you have someone enabling that behavior, I hold them just as accountable as the person doing it. He didn't go, "Hey, man, you got to slow down." I mean, Eazy-E and them, you know how many drugs these guys were doing? My God, their parties probably put anything that I ever did to shame. I've done a lot of crazy parties. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? You're talking about a guy who encouraged this lifestyle because he wanted them distracted so they didn't notice what he was doing to them financially. This guy
I gotta ask
was
you: is this true? Do you know this? I don't know this. The person who shot Tupac is the same person who shot Big. Is that true?
it's a speculation. I'm not gonna say that he's wrong, but I'm not gonna say that he's right. I'm gonna say there's a lot of the shots, and even in this movie, Biggie got precise shots. Pac's car had precise shots. Like I'm talking grouping, like it's called center mass for anyone who hasn't served. We call it shooting at center mass. You shoot at points right here, 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 and here to make sure you get your target. The way the car was hit, he had bullet holes here, here, and here. And the only reason
You
why
talking about
he had
Biggie? You
them
talking
was
about
he
Biggie?
tried to jump
Wait, you
from
talking
the
about
front.
Biggie or Tupac? You're talking about? Hold on.
Oh, Tupac. Tupac, when
Okay,
he was
Tupac.
gunned down he was gunned down in Vegas, coming out of a fight.
Wasn't he with
At
Suge Knight? Wasn't Suge Knight driving the car that he got
Suge was
shot?
driving the car, yeah, and he caught
Okay.
one in the forearm or shoulder. I think it was the shoulder, right over in here. He caught a
So it
stray.
couldn't have been. It couldn't have been Suge Knight then, because why would Suge Knight want to be shot himself? Why would he want to even be near there? Right?
Some people have said he's trying to put it on convincing, but Suge Knight had more to gain from Pac being alive than dead because he was collecting royalties. So I don't think he had Pac set up, but I do think 100% he had Biggie shot. I 110% believe he ordered the head on.
Yeah, even from this movie, it shows that Hey, hold on, I'll give you a mod. Hold on a second. Who wants it? All right, hold on. Yeah, just don't be trolling. All right, there, you got your mod. You got it. So don't worry about it. You're there. And no one's gonna kick you anyway. So well, see if you want to go, but you got your mod. We
I mean, lemon pie could be right. Weird Al changed all of this. Oh my God, we solved the case. Years later, it was solved here on Rob's Rules by Lemon Pie. Weird Al Yankovic took them all out.
What's funny, Elizabeth says, Brian, not enough evidence, just not enough evidence that the shooters were skilled. Well, I mean, according to this movie, it seemed like that, from what my understanding, when they were talking, trying to get the facts, they were saying that Shook didn't go to just anybody. You know, these guys were trained. It was the whole thing. Like they knew they weren't talking using cell phones. It's like, why don't we check the cell phones? And Johnny Depp's like, because they didn't use cell phones. They used walkie-talkies. And you could see that because they even showed, like, when one of the guys was there, they're like, okay, he's leaving now. He's leaving now. And there was a car across the street, and that was the car that had the person, and they boxed him in. So I thought it was beautiful. That's why I said to you, I enjoyed how Johnny, they showed all that. They showed how they boxed him in, how they got Biggie. How I enjoyed that perspective of police analysis from him. I didn't think it was corny or Legos. It just looked like model cars. You know, it was like a car that I would play with when I was a kid. I liked how they made the model of the street, and I just enjoyed that. And what I liked the most is that he wanted the truth. He wanted the truth, and to me, that he wanted to solve something, to put a closure to Miss Wallace's life. You know, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That's what he tried to do, and that she appreciated it too. You know, and I enjoyed all the effort. And she said, "I appreciate effort you did, everything
mm,
you tried to do.
My cats own me. Yes, that is a placement. If you guys don't know, okay, so everybody who's new who might not know me, I was in the military. I was part of a special unit. I was a hospital corpsman in a special forces unit. And when you get training for something like that in the military, when we pull out our gun, it's
No.
not to arrest you. It's
Do you
going
see
to
a lot
be
of gang violence in it? No, there's not a lot of
no,
gang violence in it. It's
no. It's just
basically,
more
again,
lean.
it's more focused on what went down and who are the suspects and where they get these guys being suspects and how it worked. They do mention the white van. That is mentioned, by the way, Rose. I just missed your comment. Damn it. Here it is. Okay. What about the white SUV? So basically, the white SUV pulls up on the right side. Biggie's in the middle lane, and the person who comes by shoots him is on the left. And Johnny Depp shows that clearly. You see it in the movie. They react how the whole thing goes down. So they're very descriptive about that. They put the old. See, I thought it was a good blend of old footage. Zod's like, oh no, I wanted more. We both agree that Tupac should have been in this more. They should have had more explaining about Tupac's death and what went on between Biggie and Tupac. Should have showed that more. I think they could have added that to the movie. There was certain things like Mr. Zod said that you left questioning, like, okay, what happened? He left early from the police force. Why did he leave early from the police force? There was some things you have questions about that they didn't go into. They could have been more specific about. It's stuff like that. I thought it was, again, overall it was a good movie, but like any movie, there's questions that leave you hanging and you're like, right. And they could explain more who they were. Like the people, like my daughter wouldn't have a clue who these guys are. She wouldn't have a clue who's Biggie Smalls, who's Tupac Shakur, who's Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg she might know because Snoop Dogg's still around. Who are these people? They could have explained, like they could have shown more of them doing concerts. Like the 1990s, they could have showed them and how big they were, and they could have gone a little bit more into their lives. I think even if it was old footage, they could have done more of that. I think that's what it lacked to give it a little bit of an explanation. But me and Zon knew who they are, so it wasn't to us. It was okay. That's our time,
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. These are
yeah.
my childhood. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, for people who know the story, they'll get a lot of new perspectives out of it. My feeling was just as someone, and you guys can check it out. I have it on my channel. It's in a playlist called my reviews. If you ever watch my reviews, I never have one that's like under 10 minutes because, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I never have a review that's under 10 minutes because when I go into explaining something, I just don't want to give you a critique of, oh yeah, this movie sucked and here's my rating. I want to tell you why. I mean, I go into the camera work and things like that. Cinematography can make or break a movie. How light and how dark something is, the contrast can break a movie. Dialogue, where the music is placed, the timing of the music. And I'll be talking about this tomorrow on the Snyder Cut. Like, Bitchy brought up a point to me really quick, just to get a short detail so you guys have an idea of where I'm coming from. We were watching the Snyder Cut together last night, and Bitchy looks at me because if you've seen our reviews together, she comes at reviewing different than I do, and that's what makes it work because I'm critical, and she's just like, this is what I like and don't like kind of deal. And she looks and she goes, I have two questions. Why is everything in slow-mo and why are they playing songs like all the time? And I go, that's a great point. Like I would have never picked that out because I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm seeing this thing I've wanted to see, right? So like I'm looking at it like, yeah, let me see what they fixed and what they didn't fix. And she was like, well, already they're playing like literally they have this people when Aquaman goes into the ocean, they have this people randomly sing in a choir, and he fixes the shot for like a good 2 minutes on these people singing, and it's like, why did this need to be added? It could have been the Easter Bunny. It's crafty.
The Easter Bunny.
We've got a lot of good theories going.
Yeah, we got Al, we got the Easter Bunny. I mean, who else should be a suspect here? Maybe
But,
well,
like,
L.A. I mean, we could put on Schwarzenegger. He's out in L.A., right? He's the governor. He carries guns, right? He's always in these violent movies, so maybe he could be a suspect. Well, I'll be back, you know. Maybe he's part of it. He was the governor out there, and who knows? You know, I don't know. If he,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing, by the way, Roy. Just so she shared my video. Thanks. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. Go ahead.
You know, this is just the thing of it. Swinging back to this review here is that when I look at a movie, I want to dissect every part of it, and for me, the biggest reason why I'm hitting this movie so hard is because I like it and I want to be very objective. Like, I'd watch this movie again.
Me?
You know, I'd watch it again. I'd give it another
Me too.
watch.
Me too.
But if I'm reviewing like what you, Rob, I got to be critical about it, because when you love something, I feel like you're going to do it a disservice if you're heaping a bunch of praise and you're not pointing out the things that, you know, are wrong with it.
Weird Al did it with the accordion. Are we playing Clue? Weird Al was there with the accordion. Oh, it was the Easter Bunny with a carrot. You know?
Or was it that guy with the little eyepiece there with the candlestick?
A black hat was noticed at the scene. I don't know.
Oh, did they find my black hat?
Listen, he has admitted on the stream he is a villain, so anything's possible.
Why not? I've been blamed for some other stuff, so I'll take a big one.
Clint Eastwood. That's out of left field. Oh my God!
It came out in 2018, but it was delayed until now because of legal disputes with the distributors and other stuff. It's even implied the police didn't want this movie to come out, which I find interesting because I could kind of believe that. Seeing the movie now, I could kind of believe the police going like, yeah, I don't want these scenes in this, because it does make you question a lot of things.
Oh. Pee Wee Herman did it with the bicycle. Pee Wee used his bike. He went nuts.
It was pop culture with a bear.
Yeah.
Mystery solved.
I'm good. Like I said, sometimes my stream gets a little crazy. What happened? Hashtag Zod would get lost on the way.
Now, see, if I was super political, I would say there would be another person that we know who would get lost trying to find their way, but I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's a possibility. Four bands in sync, Backstreet Boys. Who else was there?
It was JT.
The Kids on the Block. The Kids on the Block. I don't know. What happened? Why would they not the film release? Don't they realize how suspicious that makes it look? Well, it was a lot of legal stuff at the times, and some say it was Johnny Depp who sued like a manager or something, and that's why they put it out and then they stopped it. I don't understand that either. I don't quite understand why they didn't release it when they released it. Maybe also because it's controversial, and maybe because the LAPD maybe didn't want this out there. Again, I don't know the politics behind it. I mean, I'll read you what I know, because I was looking at myself like, why would it not? I'll put it. Why was the city? No, not Cotty. City of.
He's got his tune adjusted to New York slang, so.
Yeah. Okay, The City of Lies was originally supposed to arrive in 2018, but it was pulled 1 month before its scheduled release. after a former location manager, the location manager sued Johnny Depp for allegedly assaulting him on set. That is the reason it got.
Why hasn't Amber Heard ran with this? And we should have heard
That's
this.
a very good question.
It has to be BS because Amber's team of idiots she got over there would have had this on the next day.
It was supposed to come out, by the way, December 8th of 2018.
Wow, we're talking like what, 3 years now?
Yeah, and yeah, that's wow. That's something else. Now that might be a video. I want to know why sued Johnny Depp. Like, I want to know what happened there. That's got me curious. I didn't know that. That's interesting. We have heard that. I haven't heard this. This is the first I heard of this. Elizabeth, do you know what happened with that case? What happened? Because he's claiming that Johnny hit him. I never knew that. This is the first.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that either. From how I heard it, he had a dispute, and I also heard too that the LAPD had put an injunction on the filmmakers, and that they didn't want this movie to get released because of the implications and the way that it's shot. And as a matter of fact, if you watch a documentary on Netflix about Biggie Smalls, it's a great documentary till they get to the end and there's implications with the police and they just kind of glaze over the ending and kind of end the documentary, which I thought was weird. But I'm gathering a lot of people who have researched this has come across this connection and it's been shut down because they don't want it out there. And I mean, I'm not just like, I'm not tinfoil hat guy here, guys, but, at a point, you got to wonder why people have shut down this aspect of the story for so many years. And you see it in this movie, and it's like a lot of this is making sense because I've said for years, there's no way those were amateurs who killed these two guys. There's no way. No way it was a group of gangbangers who just one took out the other. They wanted to play it like that. They wanted to open and close it like that. But here's the $1 million question. Why is the case still open if it's so open and shut?
Well, remember what he said. He said, as long as it's open, right? They can't talk about it. The evidence gets buried, right? Because it's an open case. And that's why they left it open. So it's saying, listen, the LAPD is trying to protect their own asses because they got people in there who are gang members, and these guys helped. So planned it. So he said, "Hey, look, you guys will help me. They won't. They can't touch me as long as you are my inside sources. So you guys are in, and you take out anybody who I need taken out. That's what And that's like, remember that guy, Rafael Perez, the police officer. He goes up to the guy and he just takes him out, but he pulled him to see it happen. He just happened to be at the right place at the right time. So what happened? Wait, hold on. Diamond said, a fair point, Zod. I guess she didn't bother to check. And the location manager that sued is the Rocky Brooks person who's suing JD. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of all that stuff. That's kind of newish to me because I've been so into Amber Heard, Johnny. I don't know other people suing him, but I have heard that someone else was. I really don't know that stuff. Again, it's a lot to look at right now. I mean, I may have to. Gail said we should make Rob and did do a Who Framed Roger Rabbit next. I saw that movie. I thought it was stupid. I don't know. I couldn't. I don't.
See, that'd be a movie where we disagree because I love that movie.
Oh, you love that movie? I don't know. I thought Roger Rabbit was so annoying. I don't know.
Rob, we're the new Siskel and Ebert here. And then when we both agree, people will know that it's a good movie.
Well, listen. What would you give this movie? How about that? What would you give the movie?
Oh, I know I'm gonna get a lot of salty looks from people in the chat, but honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind the way that they delivered some things, the way they left some things out. I think it's crucial. I think it's crucial when you're talking documentaries, you want to go for as much pertinent as you can. This is a case where you want to treat the audience kind of stupid because they are not going to know a real life event like this. You got to feed them the information and you got to do it in a clever way that keeps them invested.
Right.
And for me, I just didn't feel like they were trying to hook me with the facts. I felt like there were a lot of scenes that dragged on that people are going to be like, oh my God, could we get to what the point of this is? And that's just how audience members look at it, especially in this age. You brought it up of Marvel and things like that.
Mhm.
People have lost the ability to sit and watch intelligent films like this. So, I mean, for me, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just saying I wasn't really feeling some of the performances.
I would give it. I'd give it an 8, but because of two things, like you said, Forrest Whitaker, who's good, he was excellent in the film, but him and Johnny were too. They couldn't get a bond there because his character was so like offish, like, leave me alone, and okay, I'll tell you, leave me alone, okay, I'll tell you, and like they need a little bit more of a chemistry of them working together. Like, okay, I'm gonna need you to check this out while I go check this. Kind of like the Batman and Robin, where you want to help me here, you really want to help me. I need you to go to this person. Here's a name. I need you to check in on them because there's things you can that I can't do. And if you help me, and then I'll tell you more of the story. I thought that would have been excellent had he gave him part of a story and dropped a name, and he goes, Forrest Whitaker would come back with the information he had, and Johnny be like, wait a minute now. And then he'd go back and look and then give him more and then say, but this part of my story is missing. But if you check in on this person, maybe I could fill in the gap there. And I think that would have been great to fill in gaps. And if Forrest Whitaker could have been the one that would have helped push the story and they would have worked together, kind of like he would have been the private investigator and he was helping the cop along to find out things he couldn't find out. I think that would have been excellent. It would have been a good way to do it. Again, it was based on a true story. They could have went that route, but that's only the part I just didn't grab me. And like you said, I think there could have been more in, a little bit edited, but I always feel like that with every movie I ever see. There's very few movies.
I could sit here and review Black
That's why I
Mass.
said I'll give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8, and I definitely would see it again.
Let me frame this for you guys out there, okay? Take a movie, and these are both biopic films based on events shot at the locations. Black Mass and Public Enemy. Fantastic. And yes, I know they're actiony, but they are biopics. They're on real people, real events.
Yeah.
They were shot in the real locations. So when you tell me that a character has to be a certain way to portray the real life character, I call shenanigans because Johnny Depp doing Dillinger and Whitey Bulger, my God, those were phenomenal. And Whitey Bulger, he terrified me in that movie because that scene, the scene where he strangles that girl, it's so brutal. And it's not even the most violent kill in the movie, but there's something so visceral, and the way he like almost tricks her, like he's gonna, get her in this situation, and then he just strangles her. That's what's missing in this movie for me, is the catch, the glitch of why I should care about this. That was what was missing for me in this film, and I feel like that will be what will detract a lot of people, is that they like captivating stuff. You don't got to make the whole thing inaccurate and just action-packed. People are stupid. That's not what I'm saying. You have to have a catch.
A hook.
You said, if you don't have Forrest Whitaker and Depp playing off of each other, and there's the two main leads, and there's no chemistry, that's a big problem for a movie where they're the only characters being featured. It's them and that other third police officer who is great, and he's only in the movie like 5 minutes. So,
right, fine. Hold on.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
So for me, that is where the movie really lost me, is that it doesn't have the same kind of catch. It doesn't have the play like Johnny Depp had amazing cast members in those movies as well, and they all bounced off of each other seamlessly. Him and his gang as Whitey Bulger, great chemistry. You could see how they were terrified of him and everything.
Mhm.
It was great stuff. Public Enemy, getting his gang, the girl he fell in love with, that was all good stuff, right? It keeps you invested because you're like, oh my God, but with these two, they have no chemistry. So then you don't have anyone to connect with because you like Forrest Whitaker, but you're on the fence. And then you like Johnny, but you're like, they're not meeting in the middle.
Zod, I got to kind of wrap it up because I've been so busy streaming and sleeping and running around. I haven't had a chance. I'm starving. I want to eat. My wife's like, oh, she's hungry too. And it's like 12. You can look at the time. Look at the time. I mean, I haven't stopped. It is like 12:38 Eastern. So I really should get, it's almost 1 in the morning here. So I'm just going to wrap it up. If you haven't checked out General Fan Zone, General Zod's Fan Zone, please go and check him out. Great guy. He'll be when you streaming when tomorrow night.
Tomorrow at the midnight hour, our late night talks. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a huge panelist, and you're going to get several points of view on the Snyder Cut. I'm going to have people who hate it, people who like it, and people who don't give a crap either way.
I don't give a crap either way.
Yeah, that way you get everybody's opinion, because when I hit this, I said, everybody's doing this one-sided opinion. Either it's, oh, it's the greatest thing God ever made, or, oh, it sucks so bad. I want you guys to get a really fair, non-biased review from multiple people. So,
hold on. Let me give Tammy her wrench. Hold on before I go.
You know, hopefully you guys enjoy it, because on my channel, that's what I like to do. I like to.
Tammy, you have a wrench. It's right there. I don't know. You're in blue. I don't know what's wrong. You're in blue, Tammy. You're in blue. You have a wrench.
Yes, Lemon Pie. I will be doing the stream about it tomorrow. We all talked about it. Me, Perp, and everyone we had. And look, it's a 4-hour movie, so it's enough to make a whole entire stream on, because there's a lot of things to pick through and talk about. And there's something I'm going to talk about with Geeks and Gamers as well, and my feelings on that whole fiasco.
Okay, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that stream. I'll be here again Saturday at 4. Zod, he's not sleeping, will be. But we'll see if he's sleeping.
I will set my alarm.
And we will do 2-hour stream. We'll talk about the appeal, and we'll talk about the movie. And, I'll invite some more of the people. It's a lot of streaming today. I've been on about 6 hours of streaming, which is probably a record for the channel. I don't think I'm ever going to break that, but who knows? Anyway, we love you all. This is my boy Zod and me. Well, he's the other way, right over here. There he is. And listen, we hope you enjoyed our review. He gave a 5. I gave an 8. We both said we'll both see it again. That's for sure. And we'll talk about it more. And if you guys see it, and hope you did, we can talk about, I know the Yazida saw it, so anybody else who saw it, we could talk about that on Saturday. We'll talk about the appeal. We'll go over with a whole bunch of people, and we'll see what's going on. I hope you guys all had a great day. I hope you enjoyed everything. Make sure you check out Zod tomorrow. We'll be streaming. And I'll see you Saturday at 4 o'clock. And everybody be well. Have a great night. I got to go eat. I'm starving. I'll see you all later. I love you guys. Be well. Peace.